Control reform is going to have to come in the form of pretty big legislation on Capitol Hill. That is not what they're doing here or even what they're proposing here today. Instead, the president is expected to sign a half dozen or so executive actions on gun control, including...
A half dozen? Biden's going to pass a half dozen executive orders. That's a lot of like one, two, a few, like that's like overboard, but a half dozen, that's pretty crazy. So it just goes to show you the Democratic Party has been waiting years for this opportunity and to get one of their own in the White House. I'm surprised that Obama didn't do it. And there was things he did. Anyway, that's a whole nother video, another story. But anyway, yeah, old sleepy, sloppy Uncle Joe is the puppet that he is, and they tell him what to do. His party, Nancy Pelosi, his vice president, Kamala Harris, they tell him to jump, he says how high, and that's kind of where we're at right now with this gun. So the gun control, it's not even about, it's not about protecting people. This is about the federal government and the Democrats passing laws and legislation, right? That allow, they're saying, oh, well, it's about these, like right here. Oh, it's about these arm straps that can make a handgun into a rifle. And it's about these other kits that you can make a gun out of plastic guns that don't require background checks or serial numbers and all that. Okay, right. That's not what it's about. They're going to say stuff like that, and then they'll say, well, we need background checks. Well, we have background checks. They're saying, oh, well, we need better background checks. It's like, listen, you go to a gun store, you try to buy a firearm, the gun store is not doing the background check on you. You just simply fill out the application. Your application is being checked by the FBI. The FBI gets back and corresponds to the gun store and lets them know whether or not your application was approved or denied. So we already have background checks. This is just another opportunity by Big Brother to pull this gun grab and make it harder for people from here forward to acquire a gun legally. That's what they're doing. They just want to make it harder for people from here forward to acquire guns, period.
That is not what they're doing here or even what they're proposing here today. Instead, the president is expected to sign a half dozen or so executive actions on gun control, including, take a look at this, one that has to do with these so-called ghost guns. These don't have serial numbers. They're sold in kits. They can be assembled at home, and they're not subject to background checks. The White House wants the Justice Department to issue a proposed rule to curb the proliferation of these ghost guns. They also want to regulate what's being called a stabilizing brace. These are accessories that can turn a pistol into a short-barreled rifle.